What's going on YouTube? It's Byron Talks. Subscribe to the channel for more great content. In this video, Coach Ken is going to be outlining the toxic traits of men and women. These are some good traits, some good information. I really like the things he said. I want to see what y'all feel about whether these are toxic traits in men and women. Let's go ahead and get started with this video.
Because I want to talk about this too. I think this is great. Give me like one or two major identifiers for the ladies that they about to deal with a toxic brother. That it's a toxic brother, and then give me the other side, one or two for the men too, because we got to be able to identify it as well.
Okay, I'll give you a couple. Toxic man. Number one, when a man wants to control everything you do. Like, where you at? What you doing? Where you been? Who you talking to? I mean, when you get a man that's that. Another one is when a man wants to be girlfriend, boyfriend in 2 days. Like when, we don't even know each other, when it's like, oh, you my lady. I'm your lady? Damn.
That's definitely toxic.
That can be a toxic one too. You my lady, and I know the one about control. Those two situations are definitely, can be toxic. Now, a player don't have to be toxic. Just because I'm a player don't mean I'm a...
Oh, this is good. Honestly, I never heard nobody really break it down like that for us. The player. A player don't have to be toxic, and I totally agree, especially when you get older. An older man that's a player, he's honest at the same time, so he's telling you, you're not the only person in my life. When you start dealing with mature relationships like that, it's easier to deal with a man that tells you straight up, and I wouldn't consider him to be toxic because he's being completely honest with you. Now, if he's not being honest, if he's being slick, if he's leading you to believe that there's something else going on and it's really not that, I would consider that being toxic. Let's continue.
Toxic. I'm toxic. Toxicity or something, when you think of something toxic, toxic is something that poisons you, right? Whenever you're in a relationship with someone and it poisons you, like when he begins to isolate you from family, friends, what you used to do, who you used to hang with, then that becomes toxic, okay? When he needs to know every move you make, everything you do, all of that, it becomes toxic. Those are two, just to give you two off the rip.
Yeah.
Those are good. Now the ladies, they can also be toxic.
They can be toxic as hell.
Help our men out.
Spendaholic. When you with the lady who I know you like, oh, spendaholic. When she is a disregard for anything you do financially. Everywhere you go, if you go into, she with Ryan, can you run into the convenience store and pick up something? She's like, where the money at? Okay, let me get that. And she's not willing to invest in any of that.
Toxic. This is a good one. Wow, I didn't even think of it like that. But that spending money, want you to always spend money on them, not even thinking about giving you money for something that they need. That's definitely toxic. That's good.
All right, everything is all about you spending, all about you taking me here, all about this. You got to buy me this. I saw on Instagram, this girl said, you got to buy me a house. Did y'all see that post?
Yeah.
You got to buy me a house.
She want to say her man
Get her man
bought
buy
her
her
house.
And I'm like, that's going to be toxic as hell. I already saw that as toxic.
Yeah, that's extremely toxic.
Spendaholic, I like that.
Spendaholic is toxic. And then I think, then the other toxic, there are many of them, but I'll give you another one, is the negaholic.
The negaholic.
The negaholic.
I thought I liked it. It sounded like the sound of that one.
Yeah. The negaholic is the woman that, woe is me no matter what. You always gonna see what you doing because she believes the worst in everything. Worst because the lens that I'm looking at the lens of this current relationship through the lens of my past. So now you cheating, you over here grinding, y'all building a brand, but why you up in the studio so long? Why you up in, and the negaholic is really combined with the insecureholic. But the difference with the negaholic is I can get the insecureaholic because that could be based on trauma. That's not necessarily toxic, but it could be.
Negaholic. Okay, got it. I got it. I get it now.
Negaholic.
I thought it was neckaholic.
These guys are crazy. That's funny though. He thought neckaholic. But he's dealing with like everything is being negative. Yes, that's definitely a toxic trait that I don't think a lot of people even notice they're doing, because like he said, it's really trauma that comes behind sometimes when people are being negative all the time. But that's definitely a toxic trait, and it also spills into insecurity, and there's a lot that goes into that one too. But let's continue. That's funny though. Neckaholic.
That can also be toxic. That can also be toxic.
I like the sound of that one.
That neckaholic can be toxic too.
Neckaholic right now.
You know, the
Girl, you always distracted
but
to
the
get my word done.
neckaholic can lead to the controlling dude. Like, where you at?
You know, so when does a man know a woman is going overboard in some of the things that she might, be, whether it's being facetious or, side comments or things like that?
So I'm gonna give you, this is a negative. This is a negative trait of a woman. I didn't know she's toxic. I call her the emasculator holic. I just throw the holic on there.
Yeah. Right.
But I call her the emasculator. And the emasculator woman is, think about it like this. There are women out there who are making tons of money. Because you remember back in the day, even before your time, even before my time, when I was young, the woman stayed at home. And she would be the homemaker. Mom was there when you got home from school or whatever. Then mom started working. Mom started making her own money. And women are making more money than ever. Women control 78% of the buying decisions in America. And so what happens is now in the business world, the masculine energy, we all have masculine and feminine energy, but women are adopting more masculine energy to be successful in this masculine grid of business, right? And so the problem happens is because now when I adopt this masculine energy, go get it, ambition, driven, making decisions, direct to the point, those are traits of masculine energy. It works well in business. But when she comes home, it does not work well because she does not know how to balance the energy, right? And so as a masculine man, here's the problem. Is when a masculine woman brings that energy home, a masculine man looking at masculine energy coming from another man, he knows how to deal with it. He knows what to expect. Either I confront it or I back away from it. Okay, if I see masculine energy in you, I know how to handle that.
Either way, you get
Either way, I know it's definitive what I'm going to do, right? But when a man sees masculine energy coming out of a female vessel that he loves, especially, he doesn't know what to do with it. Some men retreat and say, man, I ain't going to say shit. I'm going to just leave it alone, right? Some men, I'm going to argue with it because that's what we do with masculine energy. And so either way, it's not good for the relationship because she's not balancing that, right? So when you get a woman who starts emasculating men, what happens is you stay in this energy and now you begin viewing the man through this emasculine lens. See, I told y'all he was stupid. Told y'all he wasn't getting shit done. I told y'all he wasn't handling business. I told y'all this and I told y'all that. And what happens is now the woman who is an emasculator doesn't really like who he is. They will say shit like this. I want a leader. I want a man that leads, but they won't let him lead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You do have a lot of masculine women that what they do is they'll say, like he just said, I want a leader, but you're not allowing him to lead because if you're being masculine, it's almost like his masculine energy has to be above your masculine energy. So now he got to climb over you to even be a leader. So when masculine women say, I want a leader, you got to understand, you have to let him lead. And of course, I know what people say behind it. Well, he don't lead. He don't lead. He's not able to lead. Well, if he's not able to lead, or if a man is not able to lead, guess what you need to do? Not be with him. So you can't use that as an excuse. Let the man lead, and if he's not able to lead, in your opinion, you have to move on and go on to bigger and better things if that's what you choose. Let's continue on this one because this is a really good video.
They won't allow him to lead. So because like I always tell the man, if you relinquish your leadership ability, she has to give it back. You can't take it. Because once you decide that I'm gonna allow her to lead, she has to relinquish that. And what happens is now she believes that her way works. because it's worked in the financial sector, it works in the masculine grid of business, and now I'm beginning telling the man what to do. He's not operating like me. He's not doing it like me, and then the man feels like I'm not enough.
That's truly toxic. When you
Yes.
can poison him to the point where it now damages his self-worth.
Yes,
So sex is not happening.
yes.
Love is not happening.
He feels like I'm not enough. No matter what how many men ever said something like this? No matter what I do, it ain't enough.
And that now affects him even outside of his relationship. I'm sure
Yes.
that affects his ability to perform and be assertive and aggressive
Sure.
in business, trust his decision making and his decisiveness
Yes.
in just different areas of his life. So that is truly toxic. I think that masculine is probably one of the worst of the
It is.
toxic that you say.
They all got they share though.
Yeah.
They all come with some shit with them.
So I agree. It's so the thing is, I do believe that it's a lot of men in unhappy marriages. Women, of course, as well.
Yes.
But I think a lot of it is the man getting stepped on, being emasculated in these relationships.
Sure.
And I would imagine that if you was in that type of situation, it would probably be very difficult for you to share that with a friend or some guys that could potentially help you get out the situation. So if they were to come to you in one of these private sessions and they like, yo,
And they do.
I believe it, and then my woman is shitting on me and I can't take it anymore, but I don't know what to do. How would you advise them to get out of the relationship? Or just to maybe if it's not even get out of the relationship, what would be your counsel for them?
My counsel is number one. I do a discovery session, and I have to figure out how you ended up here, because you're telling me the result of what happened. See, everybody tells me the result of it, so I have to go back all the way back sometimes to their childhood, most times, and I see, how did we arrive here? How did you get to the point where you're even allowing it?
All right, we're going to stop the video right here. Subscribe to the channel for more great content. We're going to continue breaking down this video. So if you want to see the second part of what he's saying and breaking down this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. It's Byron Talks. We out.